So for number 1 here, we have two terms. We have x plus y equals 15, and we're solving for x. So step 1 says circle the variable we're looking for. We're looking for x. There's two terms, and the term that is not involved with the variable we're looking for is this one right here. So we need to get rid of it. Since it's plus y, we're going to subtract y from the left, subtract y from the right. Positive y minus y, since they're opposites, go to 0, and we're left with x equals 15 minus y. And we're done because we cannot combine because they're not like terms. For the second one, we're going to solve for q. So I'm going to circle my q. Oh, there's no other terms. Since it's p times q, I'm going to divide both sides by p. My p's cancel. They become 1q, or just q equals x divided by p. And then for the third one, I have 5 minus b equals 2t. So now here's where it's a little bit interesting. Because we have 2 times t, there's no other terms on that side, but we're going to divide both sides by 2. So what you do to one side, you have to do to the entire other side. So make yourself a little note there. If you divide or multiply one side, you have to do the same to the entire other side. So to divide this entire side, I'm just going to put a division sign under the entire thing and divide it by 2. So I have 5 minus b all divided by 2 equals t. If you're working ahead, you might have written in parentheses 5 minus b divided by 2 equals t, because that means the entire left-hand side is divided by 2. But this is definitely the better notation for it. Now we're going to see how these literal equations, you use them a lot in science and different things. So for the first example, in 2004, Ernest Van Dyke won the wheelchair race in the Boston Marathon with a time of about 1.3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and write t equals 1.3 hours. The race was about 26.2 miles. It's a marathon. So we know that that's the distance equals 26.2 miles. What was his average speed? Speed is the same thing as rate. Since we're looking for the speed, we're looking for the rate. And since we don't know that, we're just going to go ahead and call that x or r, whatever you want to call it. Use the formula, distance equals rate times time, and round your answer to the nearest tenth. Make sure that you pay attention. Anytime you see something that says round to the nearest tenth, I underline it, I highlight it, I box it, I star it so that I don't forget. So I know that distance equals rate times time, and I'm looking for my rate, so I'm going to circle it, divide both sides by t, and I know that my distance divided by time equals my rate. Well, now since I know a distance and I know a time, I can go ahead and plug those in. So 26.2 miles divided by 1.3 hours equals my rate. Now this is where you can use a calculator. So 26.2 divided by 1.3 equals 20.153, but since I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, I'm just going to make it 21.2. And since it's miles per hour, it's going to be miles per hour equals his rate. That's pretty fast. Okay, go ahead to the next video and you're going to see we're going to use some more scientific ways to use literal equations.